Art Fein's Poker Party coming to you from Hollywood with the fabulous Sprague Brothers Band. Take it away, guys.
1, 2, 3.
What could be?
Bob Wills meets Buddy Holly meets the Beatles.
Now what's that Bob Wills song? When's it from?
Bob Wills and Texas Playboys. Never knew.
Never knew. Okay, what could be more appropriate than the Sprague Brothers opening up the show? Because this happens to be a meeting of the Sprague Brothers fan club, featuring a few guys. We usually sit around and talk about the Sprague Brothers. Hey, where's the girls? Yeah.
That's the problem.
Vice President is Todd Everett. Todd, you never miss a Sprague Brothers show.
Try hard not to.
Okay, and nice to have you here, Todd. Next to him, Doug Feiger. Doug's the treasurer. It's nice to have you here.
Where's your dues?
You're a big
Still waiting for the dues.
Well, where's the treasury? Okay, so it's nice to have you here too. And George Wendt, you've been out to many Sprague Brothers shows.
Yeah, actually, you know what happened one time at the Lava Lounge, a Sprague Brothers show? I actually stepped on somebody's blue suede shoes. I swear to God.
You did it.
And I had quite a laugh about it. I couldn't believe it happened, but the guy was not, he just didn't want to hear about it because he's probably heard it like I hear Norm. He's probably heard about someone stepping on us. But I was going to the bathroom, I tripped, and it was like, oh my God.
What Norm?
Okay, there's another.
George is this guy we keep running into in clubs around.
There's another thread connecting us all. We're all Midwesterners of a sort. Now, Todd, you're often compared to Ernest Hemingway, and you're a white-bearded guy. And
people wish I'd blow a hole through my head with a shotgun.
no, well, for two reasons. Now, I know one is because of the general physique, and the other reason, of course, where were you born?
Chicago.
Oak Park.
Oak Park.
Right?
Yeah.
So, Ernie.
Was Frank Lloyd Wright Oak Park also?
Yes.
Could be.
I think so.
Right.
So you're a closet Midwesterner. You left there when you were 6 months old or something.
About 6 years old, but yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, that much time there?
Yeah.
And I grew up
Okay,
in Oak Park.
Mr. Feiger
Well,
from the Net? What?
we went to Milwaukee and then Green Bay for a while before coming out west.
Oh, no kidding. I didn't know all that.
Well, my father was a doctor and he had his internship and residency
And it was in a covered
in
wagon,
Wisconsin.
too. In those days it was.
Yeah, pretty in 1952, pretty much.
And then Doug here from Detroit.
I grew up in Oak Park, Michigan.
Oh,
In Oak Park, I did.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true.
I'm sure you did. But
Outside of Detroit. Yes.
Here I rag the Midwest a lot because I don't live there anymore and I don't want to. But I always say to Doug that Detroit, all right, that's bad. I mean, the things we don't like about it are bad. And he says,
It's a good place to come from.
And I say Chicago, I don't like it that much, but it's got good points. And then you always tell me, no, Detroit's much worse, especially contemporarily. Now, Todd, you don't pay much attention to the differences between Cleveland and blah blah blah. Do you think Detroit, Central Detroit, is significantly worse than Central Chicago?
From as somebody who has no idea at all except instinct, between the two, I would probably want to go to Chicago before I ought to go to Detroit.
But Doug has really filled me in. I didn't realize what's
Detroit's the only major city in the last 20 years to lose 1 million people in population, and whole areas of downtown Detroit have been turned into farmland. They're farming in downtown Detroit. They raise these buildings and farm. I kid you not.
LA next.
I mean,
LA next.
It's really something. And then George Wendt.
Strip mining.
Do they just move to the suburbs, or do they move totally out of?
No, they just moved to the suburbs.
So there's a suburb surrounding nothing, right? It's
yes,
it's
that's
like a
exactly
lifesaver.
what it is. It's like a donut.
So it's like moving to Van Nuys or something.
Yeah. So when you go back, your mom's living somewhere on the donut, right?
She's living,
and
as a matter of fact,
Hamtramck
it really
the donut
is.
hole, right?
Hamtramck is
donut
this
hole.
sort of like.
Why? Now, come on. Now you're talking local. Hamtramck. What's that?
Hamtramck is a city that's surrounded by Detroit, and it's pretty much, it's like 99% Polish.
Uh-huh.
It's Polish factory workers basically lived in Hamtramck.
So they eat well.
I would suppose.
A lot of kielbasa.
A lot of kielbasa.
Okay. And then, of course, I grew up in Chicago, and then so did George. But then you could actually say you're bi-coastal because you did grow up in Beverly Hills, right?
Yeah. The neighborhood in Chicago where I grew up is called Beverly Hills. Yeah. He's from Rogers Park, right?
No. Well, my mom's in Skokie now. But
Skokie.
I'm in different neighborhoods, but got
North
the
side,
got
south
the
side.
hell out of there. So we're all here in honor, of course, of the Sprague brothers, and also to just shoot the breeze. We'll be back to them in just a few minutes. They're playing around town. They got a new record out. That's it right there. It's a single. It's cool, and a lot of great things are happening for these boys. But we'll get back to you in a minute. Now, Doug, you told me so many fascinating stories. I was thinking of. Now he and I went to the South by Southwest in Austin a couple weeks ago, which is a great thing. By the way, the standard journalism story now about South by Southwest is, I hate it there. I went to this big convention and all these jerks were there, and boy, did I have a terrible time. Well, if you're a jerk, you'll find jerks, and if you'll have a terrible time, if you're a jerk going there to have a terrible time.
If you wouldn't go, there'd be one fewer jerk.
Every story
Better for everybody.
We went selectively to things and had a very nice time. And,
I had a great time.
Yeah.
Austin's a great town.
Yeah, it's
So you don't feel like a convention here, do you?
No, they don't give you a
Well,
fez
they don't
or
give you a
anything.
fez, right?
Tiny little car.
You're too quick for me, aren't you?
But so we were.
I'm never going to do it without the
I
fez
think this.
on.
You were a Sox fan because
Yeah.
you were a South Side guy.
I mean, we're a Sox fan. I am a Sox fan, and I'm missing the game right now.
White Sox fan. Missing it where?
Well, it's on TV.
It is on TV because you get it.
On the world of satellite.
Oh, okay. All right. So, Doug took his admiration from Nellie Fox to an absurd degree. This is very interesting.
Absolutely.
And he's in Detroit. You should have been liking somebody on the Tigers.
Tigers, except for
lack color.
62, except for 1962, the Tigers were a pretty sorry team. And then 68, of course, we won the World Series. But
So what's with Tom Selleck and the Tigers?
I don't know. Somebody gave him a hat, I think.
They're really cool hats.
They're very cool.
Okay.
They're like the coolest hats. And that character, I think they wrote it around that character. I didn't think it had anything to do with.
No, he
with
still
anything.
wears Tiger hats.
Well, it's
Anyway.
a cool hat. But anyhow, our second baseman was. I'm not even sure who our second baseman. It wasn't. It wasn't Dick McCall. It could have been Dick McCall.
Yeah.
But I like Nellie Fox, and I got a Nellie Fox mitt. And remember how he used to chew the tobacco? He used to have the tobacco. Well, I had to be Nellie Fox. So that year, I would have a wad of bubble gum in my mouth until at the end of the year I went to the dentist, had 13 cavities. Broke me of my Nellie Fox obsession.
So Art always asks about the first 45 you bought.
Yeah.
And I was wondering what your first mint was, a Nellie Fox?
It was a Nellie Fox mitt, absolutely.
Your first mitt.
What was
That
your
would be
first
your
mitt?
show, I guess. Yeah.
Art, you never had one?
He probably has Tinkers to Evers to Chance or whatever that was. One of those
My
guys.
first mint was a red Shane Deast.
Whoa.
Just for the record. Okay.
But why? because that's what they were selling.
Probably because it was the cheapest.
That's
or
what they're selling
something.
at Weebolt's that way.
No, I could have gotten a Louis Aparicio or a Nellie Fox.
We're losing everybody with this. It's really,
got it.
I'm laughing, but I mean.
Probably the first time this has ever been asked on television. For what was your first mitt?
Oh man! All right,
And everybody would do. See the other thing with the Tigers had Harvey Keene,
Yeah.
who later on became a one-legged manager.
Yeah,
at
talk
the-
about your chaws.
Right. Oh yeah, he used to have. But they traded him for Rocky Colavito to the Cleveland Indians, and Rocky Colavito used to do this weird thing. Do you remember?
Yeah.
When
What did
used
he
to-
do?
When he came up to bat, he would do this like whole
Yeah.
like rigmarole. It
Yeah.
was like very strange, and so every kid, of course, imitated him before they got up.
Oh, really?
Every every kid in Detroit.
it wasn't a dance though. They didn't
No,
do the
it was,
Calavito.
but it looked
could have
like
been
it
Yeah.
could have
Could have been the
It could have
Calavito.
been the Calavito.
it might be time.
I was just watching. They replay Home Run Derby
Yeah, I
on
know.
that sports station. That
It
Yeah.
is.
and oh, that's a weird show.
Yeah.
That's a weird. And they recreate. Well, they have Wrigley Field. It was here, and it looked
Oh,
just
Wrigley
like
Field?
Wrigley
Oh,
Field
right.
in Chicago,
Yeah.
but it was the Wrigley Field out here,
Right.
and that was the field that they would.
They had one in Catalina
Play.
too. Wrigley Field.
Well, Wrigley owned Catalina.
Yeah,
didn't he?
apparently. The whole damn island, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then he gave it back, most of it, right?
Well, George,
Who-
most
to
people,
who,
I don't
the
think
Indians?
people understand that the division of Chicago is like direct, south and north side. I mean, it's very clear. Nobody on the north side likes the Sox, and nobody on the
Yeah.
right side. But it's not like they want to kill each other. Well, they kind of do. But,
Yeah.
so you were true to your geography, and so was I.
It's kind of funny that the Cubs
How
are
many-
like 0-7.
Already.
I didn't do it. I don't.
I'm just laughing.
All right, all right, but what,
How are the
Personal
Sox
chuckle.
doing?
For
What,
about 5
uh,
million Southsiders, they're having a personal chuckle over that one.
what,
The Sox are doing good. They pay a lot of money for players, though. They
What,
really do.
so how many? I mean, you must have made innumerable trips to Comiskey Park. How many did you make to Wrigley Field?
Quite a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To
Froze
boo?
my
to,
nuts
to,
off
to
there, but-
root for Shane Dingst, right?
No. Actually, there were Cubs Sox games, preseason Cubs Sox games.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
They
freeway
were like, yeah,
series.
0. Yeah, I mean, you spend the whole game in the bathroom with those hot blowers. We just like
They called
stand
a
in front of
game
those things.
yesterday.
Yeah.
They called a game yesterday on account of cold.
I know. It looked like a bear game, like a Bears game in Wrigley Field. It was like,
Poor baseball players who don't want to go out in the cold.
I've just been rooting for a World Series of Montreal and Toronto. I mean,
yeah,
that's
except they're
just
in
what I-
domes, so
Yeah,
they're
that's
domes.
true. They're both domed. But that was
No,
my
Green
dream.
Bay and anybody is the World Series.
We have just quintupled or sextupled the total sports content of this show of
Ever.
500 shows in one 5-minute swoop. I had so many things to talk. Doug, I had one more Doug story. Then
I
we'll
was
go back
going
to
to
the
say,
Sprague
Doug's been on
brothers.
the show how many times, and George
I
has
know,
been on
but
the show
George-
how many times.
George said he wanted to hear stories. He didn't want to tell them today. So,
Okay.
what?
I'm
what was,
loquacious.
what was the German? Now about Doug's before the NAC. The NAC just played last weekend at the Viper Room. It was a riot, a lot of fun.
They panned your shirt.
They panned
they
my
panned
shirt.
your
They
shirt.
had to find something to pan.
Was that guy from New Times in the front row like
Oh,
usual?
I have no idea. Wait,
So
looking for
anyways-
something.
Anyways, so
Yeah, I
in
know.
your bio, which includes a lot of funny stuff, just could you briefly tell me about your stint in the German progressive rock band?
Oh, that's true. My
Sprockets.
girlfriend, no, it was called Triumvirat, and my girlfriend had spent all our money, and we were
you in
getting,
Germany at the time?
No. We were. But this figures into the story. We were getting thrown out of our apartment
In
and-
Hollywood.
In Hollywood, and I had been registered at a thing called the Musicians Contact Service, and I got a call to go out to the Valley to audition, and I went out, and there were these two German guys, and they said, "Well, play a song," and so I played. I saw her standing there on the bass. I was playing bass. You're hired. So I find it, and it's this band, Triumvirat.
Who were fairly well known, weren't
They were. They had a couple of hits, but their bass player, who was also their lead singer, had just committed suicide because the keyboard player had stolen his girlfriend. I had no idea. I knew nothing about this. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And went because we were getting thrown out of our apartment. He said, "Well, you can come and live here at the house."
Yeah.
We did. I rehearsed the band. We go over to Germany. I was being paid when I was in Los Angeles. Get to Germany, they stop paying me. They keep me prisoner in this apartment, like outside of Cologne. It's 30 below zero. I've got all my equipment.
30 below and you're out of Cologne?
And I'm out of Cologne. Yes. But I had to escape in the middle of the night. My girlfriend's father was like a bigwig in the Israeli army. And it was like a military operation. I kid you not, it's an absolutely true story. In the middle of the night, we had all these guys like pulling my equipment out and taking it to the airport and putting it on transport planes.
You
and
see
stuff
Richard
like that.
Attenborough and Charles
Doing it,
Bronson
exactly
and
right.
digging
Right.
tunnels.
And I escaping from Germany in the middle
Well,
of the
why
night.
do you think they kept you? We need this bass player.
And they stopped paying me. Who knows? They didn't want to keep paying me, and they knew I had no money to go anywhere else. That's a true
Was your
story.
girlfriend with you, or you?
She was with me.
This sounds like a story of the Sprague brothers with one of their girlfriends recently. But anyways, let's cut over to the Sprague brothers right now. We haven't really talked to you, but we talk to you all the time. You guys sing and play much. No, you don't sing and play better than you talk, but you sing and play great. So let's swing some cameras over your way. And
When, they
too.
come over and play at the fan club meetings.
I don't know if you can get cameras over to them, and then to the left or right we got Shorty Sprague, Deke Sprague, Chris Sprague, and Frank Sprague. Same wonderful lineup that you can see frequently at the Lava Lounge and a lot of great venues around the United States. You'll be playing the Continental Club in beautiful Austin, Texas at the end of May. And a lot of gigs between here and there and beyond there. So let's take another listen to the Sprague brothers, okay?
1, 2, 3.
One camera on the band, okay? I want to ask them a couple questions from.
Can I ask about baseball gloves?
That's exactly what I wanted to do.
Mine was a Frank Tanana.
No, wait a second. Frank, I do want to ask that question, left to right. Shorty, do you remember your first baseball glove?
Pete Rose.
Pete Rose. Okay, Derek, you got anything?
Johnny Bench catcher's mitt.
Johnny Bench.
Wow.
And what did Chris
Frank Tanana, but of course that was when he's on the Angels. When he was good.
And
Well, he's
Frank?
always- Mine also Pete Rose.
Wow.
Pretty cool. So that last song you did, Deceived, is that an original?
That's one I wrote, keeping all of us in mind because we've all been deceived by women. So
So, I know all but Derek, you're all available, is that right? For the
right. But Derek
girls?
has also been deceived. So
All right, thanks a lot. We'll get back to you in a few minutes and hear another fabulous Sprague Brothers song. So
This is sort of a super group, isn't it now?
it is a super group because, left to right, we got Shorty and Deke from the Dave and Deke band and the Sprague Brothers from the Sprague Brothers band. So anyways, yes, all right. So, we've done this. We've done these the first everythings, but I don't. In the first shows, and you're kind of, no, not a square. You weren't there. You bought Great Balls of Fire, but you didn't participate in the live music that was available in Chicago that I was, as a little kid.
I was square in that regard.
Making my mother drag me down to the Howard Miller shows at the Chicago Opera House.
Here I grew up on the south side of Chicago, and I didn't partake in any of the local flavor. I just my first concert was like at Notre Dame, a Four Tops concert. I mean, it was a great show.
Notre Dame, that was college?
Yeah, so
First
I mean,
concert
then my
was in
first concert.
college.
Isn't that stupid?
So what
I've
were
made
you
up for
doing?
it with a vengeance since, by
yeah,
the way.
yeah, that's right. You're a real
What were
club
you
hopper
doing?
now.
Were you a jock, a stamp collector? or
I was just clueless. You know, I was sent away
clueless?
to
That
a
was going to be the third.
sent
choice.
away to a prep school, and you know, just
You too.
doofy, doofy Jesuit all boys boarding school. It was ugly.
But you know, you're not going to the blues clubs in the South Side is not exactly an uncommon thing in Chicago. I mean,
No,
those blues
right.
clubs were not filled with white people by and large. I mean,
No,
it's
just Paul Butterfield and just
just the hip guys.
yeah.
Do you happen to know where the Butterfield cover was shot? I wanted to find that out from that standing in front of that incense store, whatever the heck it was. What about actually, did you leave there before? In other words, there was a Chicago scene of the blues scene with Butterfield, and I mean beyond the real blues scene. I mean the white blues scene with '65, and so. Were you going? That's before you still.
I did see some things like Siegel Schwall, which was one of the first generation of white blues bands in Chicago.
So did you go down
they
to
were
Old-
great, by the way.
Did you go down to Old
They were
Town?
very good.
No, I saw them at the Quiet Night on Belmont, but I was working in Old Town at Second City there.
Oh, that's right. So you were there while like Goodman was playing and Prine and all those guys.
Did you
Yeah,
go to
yeah,
the Electric
across the
Circus
street.
and stuff? Did you used to go to the
yeah,
Electric? You never
no.
did?
But my wife went to. My wife was a hippie. I was more of a, just a preppy guy. But Bernadette actually went to, gosh, what was the place? The on Lawrence and Broadway. Oh, I'll never remember. But it was one of those electric strawberry playground, one of those places. And she had long curly hair down to her butt, and she was at a Joe Cocker show, and Joe Cocker puked on stage, and the hippie behind her puked on her, and got all of her hair. So she cut off all her hair that day, and that was the end of it.
Well, I mean, when you were in Old Town with the Second City
fabulous
business,
60s.
did you guys had to mix with like
Yes.
the Steve Goodmans and the Win Strachys
Yeah,
and whoever
Steve
else?
Goodman and Gibson and Camp, they were awesome. God.
They were so great. One of the greatest bands.
There must be some great recordings of Gibson and Camp, huh?
Gibson and Camp. Bob Gibson died a few months ago,
Yeah.
but some years ago they tried to get their album back from Elektra Records, who wouldn't let them have it for some reason.
You know what album we're talking about?
No.
The Gibson and Camp,
Live at the
Live
Gate
at
of Horn
the
from
Gate
like
of Horn.
1962 or
Well, you
one.
must be available though, right? Not to them,
No,
but
well, if Elektra decided to put it out, they could, but they didn't. So what they did was they went into a club, maybe in Chicago even, and just redid the entire album,
Wow.
like
The
note for note.
Same 1961
like 30
jokes.
years later, same jokes, same songs, everything, which is now, you really got to look for it, but it is available.
Well, I know, Hamilton Camp, so I could probably
Oh, sure, yeah.
ask him.
Yeah, and they've been on the show. But Gibson and Camp were on 10 years ago with me and Todd.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a great thing.
Cool.
But what about the intermix though? Because we're basically a music show.
Yeah, no, there was
like, Steve-
Bonnie Colac was across the street. The Earl of Old Town was directly across the street from Second
Whatever
City.
happened to Bonnie Colac? Because she was around for a long time, too.
Yeah.
May still well be.
Yeah,
No reason she shouldn't be.
And then
Steve Goodman.
Steve Goodman
The greatest.
was so great.
First time I saw Amy Madigan was keyboard player for Goodman's band. At
Really?
Ravinia.
Really?
I never knew that. I mean, I knew she
Keyboard
was in
singing
Jelly
backups,
as a
yeah.
musician, but
you know
so
that-
she was a real
Do
musician.
you know that Amy Madigan, the actress, was in Jelly, which opened for Bread?
At Anaheim Convention
Yeah.
Center, bread and jelly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Both Elektra acts.
I didn't know that.
But and then also the Chicago, like the Buckinghams and that stuff. That you just didn't get out for that. For the
No,
New Colony 6 shows.
No,
and all
I
that.
just,
CTA, do you remember?
no, I
CTA?
just I just caught on way late with music.
What year
Actually-
did you graduate Notre Dame?
I would have been 71. Well,
Okay.
it would have been
So-
70. It was 71.
So-
I got kicked out.
Yeah, but okay.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to put you in some sort of a time
Yeah,
frame.
high school 66.
Yeah.
But you don't suggest that people drop out of college. You're a role model for
Hell,
us.
I do.
Suggest they get kicked out of college.
You might as well have fun.
Right.
Well, see,
You're gonna leave.
I should have dropped out, but what I did was actually drop out and fail to inform them. So, I fucked out.
Did your parents take this very well?
Oh, they loved it. It was my dad's favorite thing.
But get into
He
show
was an
business.
alumnus
Get
of
into
Notre
show
Dame,
bu-
and so it was like a dagger in his heart,
Oh,
and that was probably the whole point, in retrospect. I was too much of a coward to actually grow long hair or burn my draft card or do anything, that took balls. Instead I just like wimped out of his alma mater. Poor guy.
What did he do for a living?
He was he started out in real estate and that kind of thing, but then sociologically, South side of Chicago, real estate just became like a a bad thing. Either you sold to the black families and got a brick through your window because you were a nigger lover, or you didn't sell to the black families and you got a brick through your window because you were a racist honky. And you know what I mean? So it was like so Dad just basically
Not the business
got
to be in.
into, you know, other stuff, banking and stuff.
Being an alderman. They make the most money.
So he was closer to Norm than he was your current character, who's the son of a meatpacker.
No, Dad wasn't close to Norm at all, no. Dad was a prominent South Side businessman in Chicago.
So big time.
Okay, well, listen, thanks a lot for this stuff. We're done. Thanks a lot, George Wendt. Thanks a lot, Todd Everett. Thanks a lot, Doug Feiger.
Always.
Let's go back to the Sprague brothers. And what song is this going to be, fellas?
Just Over a Girl. It's a little story quick. Wrote about
Just Over a Girl.
Yeah.
Don't know this one. See you later.